Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cameron, aka Royal Layman, and today we have my first YouTube video. Today I have my wife assemble some questions to ask me, and I'm just gonna be answering them on the fly. I don't know what she's gonna ask me, but I'm just gonna give you my honest answers on the fly, and yeah, should be fun. So without further ado, wifey, what is the first question? My favorite color, probably blue, I think. It was used to be between red and blue, but red's just a little, it's just a little intense for me nowadays. And I think blue is, like the variations of blue are just like, you can do so much with it. So I don't have any children that I'm currently responsible for at the moment. I really want children, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know. I'm a weird guy. I definitely get into phases where I get really passionate about learning something, and I'm really like, I really want to learn something, and then in the next season I just won't. I'll just forget all about it. So right now I really want to learn YouTube and communication skills and editing and just all the things that come into content creation, and especially in the YouTube space. But who knows? Next, I hope I don't lose this because I really want to scale this. But I think probably next season will be something like, I don't know, maybe boxing or jujitsu or something. I don't know, rock climbing. You never know. Depends on the season. Wow, there's so many things I could say for this. I don't think I've been a person who's had like a really difficult life, but one of the greatest challenges for me was learning how to grieve. I think that my personality, I was always trying to be strong for everybody else, and I have a personality where in a serious situation I try to make light of it, and I try to see the positives in it, and I try to be strong for everybody else. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I had to show up for her, and then she passed away 6 months later, and seeing how everybody around me was affected by that. But then in my own heart, I just felt numb. I didn't cry. I was trying to just like make light of the situation and see the positives in it and see the good in it. But in reality, I was, by doing that, I was actually pushing down a whole lot of the grief and the mourning and the negative emotions that needed to come up. So I think that when my mom passed away, that was one of the hardest things I've ever experienced, but it was experienced over a long period of time, and it's something that yeah, it took a while for me to actually let those negative emotions arise and to actually shed some tears and to go through the grief in the morning. So that's probably one of the things that I had to overcome, and honestly, the best way, the number one way that I did overcome it was definitely prayer and worship and being vulnerable with God, and then also being able to have a woman in my life that I can confide in, and who gives me that safe space and allows me to be emotional and expressive around her. So definitely having my wife around was definitely a huge help in fast tracking that healing that I needed to experience. So yeah, that's my answer for that one. Definitely Jesus. Yeah, there's no other way. I tried to find meaning in this life, by doing other things. I was trying to understand myself by looking to astrology and psychics. I was trying to have them tell me who I was, and I was constantly unsatisfied. I'd be satisfied for a moment, like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to hear, but it was not reliable. And in times of trouble, it wasn't reliable for me to see, find meaning in my life through what they were saying. And I was really struggling, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like I had a purpose, but I was just a million miles away from knowing what it was. So I was just lost and I was confused. So when Jesus came into my life, when he came and he encountered me, it gave me such a new lens to see life through. And now I know that this life that I live here is just temporary, and I'm actually living my life here now for the future life ahead, that I get to live with him, and that what I do now echoes into eternity, and the way I treat people now echoes into eternity, and everything will be held into judgment by God. So I think that when I encountered Jesus, it gave me a whole new perspective on life that added meaning. It was like the world that I was looking at before was in grayscale, and then all of a sudden somebody just turned a knob, and I could see all the color and the beauty in the world, and I could also see like the color of evil and the color of good, and I can make those distinctions, and I know who to trust. So I think that when Jesus came into my life, he brought meaning and purpose with him. So I definitely would say that. Success is such a subjective word and concept, because for some people it's, I need to make $1 million before I'm 30, or make $10 million before I'm 40, or I need to have the house that my family can live in, or I need to just have a big happy family. And for some people that's success, but if your version of success is that what I just listed off, but it's outside of the will of God, then for me that's not true success. For me, true success is when you live a life that's pleasing to God. So when you live a life that he delights in. So maybe you aren't the millionaire that you wanted to be. Maybe you don't have the big happy family that you wanted to have. Maybe your house is kind of modest and small. Maybe that's the things that you have, and that's all you got. But you know that you're living for the kingdom. You know that you're walking in your purpose, and that you're adding meaning not only to your life but to so many other people's lives. That you're inspiring so many other people's. You might not have the material things, but you're making eternal impact on the earth. So I think that is my version of success. My version of success is definitely one that echoes into eternity, and the reward that God will give us at the end of this life, and not necessarily on the things that we have here on this earth. That's a good question. I feel like my answers have been so already reflective of what I'm passionate about, but definitely Jesus. Like look behind me. Like I'm passionate about Jesus, but I'm not really interested in pursuing to be a pastor or a minister, or to work my way up in the rankings of a church, or to plant my own church. I'm not even really interested in that. I know that there's people who are really passionate about Jesus and building his church, and I'm like, hey, I love that, but you have to I need the Holy Spirit to give me a good 1-2 jab cross right across my chin in order for me to enter ministry in that capacity. And that's just me, but I'm still passionate about Jesus, and I love to talk about him and bring him into the world and into conversation. So that's definitely what I'm passionate about. And yeah, I think that sums it up really. I'm also passionate about learning. I just like learning new things and trivia. I'm a little bit of a trivia nerd. My wife can probably attest to that. But yeah, that's what my answer would be. It would be Jesus, but we're gonna answer this question as if it's, I'm not allowed to say that. So what am I most grateful for in my life outside of Jesus? Definitely my wife. Definitely my wife. I know she's sitting right there. She's like, ooh, she got a little blush. But definitely my wife. Because, I mean, I've known her for like, what, almost 2 years, truly. And you're already my wife. And we're already like, you know, doing this life together. And I feel like I've grown so much as a man and that she completes me as a person. Like she's right here helping me record this. She helped me set up all these lights that are shining on me, and she figured out all these questions for me. And I don't know, she's definitely like my helper, my partner, my best friend. So I'm definitely most grateful for her. She's so blushing. I think when I'm not grounded spiritually, because you know Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom and everything else will be added to you. So I always have the reassurance that I don't need to be worried about what happens tomorrow. So I think that's a good answer. But if I am gonna say anything that does concern me, I definitely think that there is a strong possibility that the power grid could be attacked, because I think it's incredibly vulnerable, and I think that humans are definitely very, 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 very reliant on electricity. And I think that if there was to be an active war waged on North America, I think the power grid would be the number one place to start. So, you know, I'm definitely worried about that. Want to start becoming less reliant on that, on the power grid, and more reliant on survival skills. Just as like a just in case, not that I'm like some doomsday, got my doomsday clock, you know, I'm watching. I just want to be sure, be safe. But ultimately, as long as I have the Lord, I know that He won't leave me, He won't forsake me, and that He'll supply all my needs, that I'll have my belly satisfied enough, I'll have water just enough, I'll have clothes to put on my back, and my family will as well. So I'm not worried about that. I know God's got me. But yeah, gotta have at least some preparation too. Yeah. I definitely look forward to having a family. I think that's pretty exciting. Honestly, I don't really have a clear picture as to what the future holds. So I know that the Lord will bless me with a family. I believe so. And so I'm really excited to meet my children. I think that'll be cool. I'm really excited to see how my wife grows as a wife and a mom. I think that's cool. I'm excited to see how I grow as a husband and a father. I think that's pretty cool too. And I'm also just I'm really excited to see how the body of Christ continues to adapt to the change that's happening in the world, and to see how the gospel spreads across the world. I think that'd be really cool to see in the future, and hopefully we're a big part of it, wifey. Well, you made it to the end. Good for you. I didn't believe that you would make it here. If you did make it here, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel. You know, I only have 6 subscribers, I think, at this point. So if you want to subscribe, you're joining the bandwagon early, okay? I plan on bringing more content for you guys in the future. Hopefully some more interactive content. I know this is just about me. I hope to bring you some content that's actually edifying and engaging, and I hope to get out in the streets and engage with some people in the streets with some street interviews. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, we got infinite possibilities for this channel, and I plan to come to you consistently. So if you want to subscribe, that'd be very helpful for me. If you want to leave a comment, I'll reply to it, and I'd love for you guys to engage with me. But yeah, definitely leave that like. if you like the video. Don't just boost me for no reason. But yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.